Good morning, children. Today we are going to revise the lesson. This is lesson number 2. There is a poem. Name of the poem is An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum. So this poem is written by Stephen Spender. He was born in the year 1909 and he was a socialist. He was a socialist or a social engineer. He was a social engineer. So what he saw two different class in the society. He saw the poor, he saw the rich. He saw the inequality which is not becoming of democracy. So everybody has the right to education, particularly education up to the primary level, up to the age of 14 is a right for the children. But what happened? We see that many children work in the industry, work in the hotel, or work in as a manual labor. So now this is the very pathetic condition. This is a pathetic condition because there is the social inequality. In one side you can see the rich, and in other side you can see the poor, and this inequality exists. And as a socialist, his ideology was socialism. Socialism means the property of the country, property of the state will have to be equally distributed to the people. So that was the motto, my dear children. And here in this poem, the poet talks about what the poet deals with what the education. What education he talks about? He talks about the elementary education. He talks about the elementary education. Elementary education, my dear children, is the basic. Is the basic. But what happens? So, in order to give the education, in order to impart the education to the children, what is needed is a conducive atmosphere is needed. An atmosphere which is conducive or helpful, that is needed. That means atmosphere is a very important. Okay. This, in other words, it is also called the environment. Educational environment is to be created in order to impart the education to the children. Otherwise, the whole exercise, the whole rehearsal of the teaching learning process will be a futile exercise. Means it will be a failure, total failure. Therefore, in this poem, the poet talks about what? The paradox. He talks about the paradox of teaching. Paradox of teaching. Paradox का मतलब क्या है? So जो हम मतलब बोलते हैं उसका कुछ अलग मीनिंग निकाल जाता है. एक स्टेटमेंट हम मतलब बोला, एक स्टेटमेंट में एक पार्ट का जो मीनिंग होगा, दूसरा पार्ट उसका मतलब जस्ट अपोजिट और कंट्राडिक्टरी होगा, तो उसको मतलब हम पैराडॉक्सिकल बोलते हैं. जब हम बोलेंगे कि इन माय बिगनिंग इज माय एंड, तब पैराडॉक्स होगा. हम बोलते हैं कि बच्चों को मतलब शिक्षा देना चाहिए, अच्छे शिक्षा देना चाहिए, particularly the elementary or the basic education should be better, but in reality we cannot create the atmosphere that will be helpful for the children because they are very poor. When the children are very poor, when they do not have the nutritious food, when the school buildings are not up to the mark, when they are suffering from lot of diseases, then will the education be successful? Not at all. Therefore, my dear children, this is the particular message that the writer, the poet wanted to give to this poem. The social inequality and the injustice that exists in the society, and the particular message that this inequality is to be rooted out from the society before it is too late. Before there is revolution, before it is too late, this inequality or these differences should be erased once and for all. Am I correct? Therefore, my dear children, so now I will be reading out the poem once again. After reading out of the poem, we will be going to the question. Some of the word meaning also will be told, because this poem, my dear children, this poem by Stephen Spender uses a lot of images. Images means what? As you remember, either the word or the combination of the words or the phrases can create a particular image, virtual image. Then that is called the image. Therefore, वो जो image होगा, वो image का मतलब क्या होगा? कुछ suggestion होगा, कुछ implied और indirect meaning होगा, कुछ representation होगा, और वही सारे जो क्वेश्चन होता है वो क्वेश्चन भी मतलब 50% जैसा क्वेश्चन ऐसा टाइप का होगा कविता में. ठीक है? Therefore, we'll have to go beyond the literal meaning or the direct meaning. हम तो मीनिंग डिक्शनरी से पक्का देखना चाहिए, है ना? सपोज their lives are very foggy, है ना? Their lives are very foggy. Now we know that the meaning of the fog. Fog का मीनिंग क्या है? मतलब fog actually means what? Fog actually means what? It is a dim, opposite of a bright. Okay, so we can go to the element that actually creates the fog. Okay, there is a water, there is different forms of the water, and the indirect meaning is that it is murky, it is dark, it is uncertain, है ना? तो indirect meaning भी हम देखना होगा. ठीक है, my dear children? Therefore, let us continue with the poem. So far, we will be reading the poem, and after I read, you will be reading the poem silently, and then you will see the number of the strangers, and you will see the key point or the key note in each stanza. Because, my dear children, all the stanzas give separate key idea. Suppose stanza number 1 will be giving or dealing with a particular main point, particular point. The second one will be telling related to the poem, it will be telling some other point, and all these are pointed together with the conclusion at the end. That will be making your poem. That will be making your poem in the whole. Okay? Therefore, let us continue. Let us go for the reading of the poem. So now here once again let us go to the text. So this is the foot to the thought. This is the foot to thought. This foot of to this thought is very important before going to the main text, because it will be warming you up to the main text. Now let us see. Have you ever visited or seen an elementary school in a slum? What does it look like? So you have seen the slum, particularly you can see the slum attached to or inside the big cities or the metropolitan cities. Okay, so and there the government also does what they start the school there, and the condition of the school there will be different from the condition of the school in other places of the same town or the same state. Therefore, let us go for it. Let us see the poem now. Far, far from the gusty wind, these children's faces like rootless woods that the hair torn around it with their pallor, the tall girl, with her weight down head, the paper seeming boy, with a rat's eye, the stunted unlucky ear of twisted bones, reciting a father's null disease, his lesson from his desk. At the back of the dim class, one unnoted, sweet and young, his eye lived in a dream of squirrel's game in tree room other than this. So in the first stanza, my dear children, you just look at the poem. In the first stanza, we can see the location of the particular elementary school. So this location was not in the natural surrounding. This location is a particular location just near the city, which is far away from the natural surrounding, and this look is very shabby or dirty. This very shabby, dirty or scary. Okay, very dirty. And here now we we are taken into the school room, okay, school room. So first we are encountered, or we are shown the children. So one tall girl is there. Her head is weighed down because of the malnutrition. There is the paper swimming boy. His eyes like the rats. Now see, there is no use of the word like, but it is compared beautifully with the rat's eye. Therefore, it becomes metaphor. That means, why this rat's eye? Why it is a rat's eye? That means, so when it is looking constantly, what it is doing, it is opening and closing the eye. That shows what? The lack of confidence. Another child is there, and this child is sitting at the back of the class. And when he is sitting, his mind is not in the teaching that is made by the teacher, but his mind is in other world. So he is living in the fantastic world, or the world of the dream. He actually wants to play, and this particular education is so dull, so monotonous, having no life. It is not lively. This education is here very dull. It is not interesting. It doesn't take cater to the all-round development. Therefore, the child is not at all interested. So he is suffering from apathy. Means he is disinterested in the study. Now let us see the condition of the school room here. Let us go for the school room. Now we are taken to the room of the school. On sour cream wall, donations, Shakespeare's head, cloudless dome, civilized dome, riding on cities, ballet, flowery, tireless valley, open-handed map, avoiding the world, its world. Now see, this particular images, these words together create some image, and this image here, it talks about what? It talks about the map. That means there is a map in the classroom. In this map, what are there? In this map, there are a lot many things like the valleys, the flowery, developed valley. Flowery means developed. Tyrolus means it is Tyrol Valley, Tyrol, Tyrol Valley in Austria. That is also very developed. So it actually talks about the civilized dome. Dome means the tower. It shows the development. All these things are there in the map. There is the head of the Shakespeare. There is the bust of the Shakespeare also. This actually is the symbol of learning. But here, this seems to be out of place, my dear children. Out of, आपको याद रखना पड़ेगा, ये फ्रेज याद रखना पड़ेगा. Out of place, ये जो चीज है ना, ये बिल्कुल मतलब क्या है? A fish out of water जैसा लगता है. Means it is not suitable, it is not adapted, it is not appropriate. Okay, it is out of place. है ना? So when you are talking about the development, when you are showing the development, you are giving the bust of Shakespeare, which is the symbol of learning. It is all out of place here in this school or in the slum. Let us go to the next. A narrow street, filled in with a lit sky, far from the river, caps and the stars of words. So this is all about the particular location of the school and the school building, the school room, along with the children sitting in the classroom. In the condition is very miserable. All these are depicted here. Now let us see. Now that the writer, the poet, who is a social scientist, who is a social engineer, who is a pioneer in the field of the development for the children, what he tells. Surely Shakespeare is okay. The map is bad example with the ships and sun and the love tempting them to steal. ये देखिए, आपको ये लाइन पक्का याद रखना पड़ेगा एग्जाम के लिए ना. ये लाइन एक वर्ड आपको मतलब ना हर वर्ड को मतलब वो करना पड़ेगा, नहीं तो आपका एग्जाम में क्या होगा, कभी भी आपको धोखा हो सकता है. है ना. So you will have to see the literary devices, you will have to see the images, you will have to see the phrases, you will have to see the direct meaning, indirect meaning, everything you will have to tell. Okay, my dear children. So now you are in class 12. Okay. Shakespeare is wicked. ये जो कहानी है और इसका जो मीनिंग है ये क्या सिमिलर है? क्या कवि ने मतलब बोल रहे थे कि हाँ शेक्सपियर तो बहुत खराब है? नो, शेक्सपियर को इसीलिए खराब बोला गया है कि द एग्जाम्पल ऑफ शेक्सपियर डज नॉट इंस्पायर द चिल्ड्रन, है ना. शेक्सपियर इज द सिंबल ऑफ लर्निंग, ही इज द बस्ट, इट इज द स्टैच्यू, इट एक्चुअली इज टू इंस्पायर द चिल्ड्रन दैट वी आल्सो नीड टू बी लाइक शेक्सपियर. ओके, having the unimaginable learning, okay, the stock of the learning. But what happened? It doesn't inspire them, and the map which is showing the development of the outside world does not inspire or does not suitably give the example of the slum. Okay, means this particular map ये क्या है? मतलब ये झूठा है, ये irrelevant है, ये ट्रू नहीं है, क्योंकि ये स्लम को रिप्रेजेंट नहीं करते हैं. This map actually is one-sided map. It actually represents the rich people, the privileged people. Okay, and therefore the map is a bad example. ये अच्छा एग्जाम्पल नहीं है. कारण क्या है? This actually tempts, है ना, ये प्रलोभित करते हैं, ये ग्रीडी बनाते हैं. क्या चीज के लिए ग्रीडी बनाते हैं? It makes them greedy to steal, चोर बनाने के लिए, क्योंकि मतलब उनका पास वो सामान नहीं है जो मतलब पिक्चर में, मैप में दिखाया गया है. Therefore, it actually does not inspire them for good work, but on the contrary or the opposite, it inspired them for the wrong deed. Therefore, now the reality of the life will be told. For lives that slyly turn in their cramped hole, from fog to endless night. On their slack heap, these children were skin peeped through by bones and spectacle of steel with mended glass like bottle beads on stone. All of the time and spaces are fog slum should blot their map with slum as big as doom. ये doomsday क्या है? doomsday का मतलब है, ये doom का मतलब है distraction. ये मतलब ऐसा, मतलब ये हिंट दिया गया है कि सो इट एक्चुअली टॉक्स अबाउट द डूम्सडे, है ना. डूम्सडे आप जानते हैं ना, डूम्सडे जब महाप्रलय होगा, प्रलय मीन्स एवरीथिंग विल बी डिस्ट्रॉयड, द लास्ट डे ऑफ जजमेंट, द लास्ट डे ऑफ जजमेंट. तो इसीलिए इसका मतलब इधर का जो इनडायरेक्ट मीनिंग है कि मतलब ना, यू स्प्रेड, ओके, और यू वाइफ द मैप only with the slum, because this is the reality here, because there is no development here. He wanted that development is to be initiated by the people into the power, by the powerful people who can motivate or inspire others. Therefore, now he is giving the message to the powerful people or the bureaucrats, the lawmaker of the country. So let us see what is the message. देखते हैं. Unless governor, inspector visited, this map becomes their window, and this window is shut up in their lives like catacomb. तो अभी देखते हैं ये जो मीनिंग है ना, देखते हैं. Unless का मीनिंग क्या हुआ? देखिए, unless का मीनिंग है, unless you come, you will be deprived of the opportunity. आपको एक अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलेगा, लेकिन वो कब मिलेगा? जब आप आएंगे. अनलेस यू कम, मतलब जब आप नहीं आएंगे तो अपॉर्चुनिटी आपको नहीं मिलेगा. तो इधर कहने का मतलब है कि अगर गवर्नर, इंस्पेक्टर, विजिटर और एनी अदर ऑफिशियल्स, द गवर्नमेंट रिप्रेजेंटेटिव, इफ दे आर not careful in making development, then what will happen? What will happen? Then it will be too late, and then a revolution will start. Therefore, the development work is to be started. break open till to the town and show to the children to the grand felt and make the world run a jewel under the gold scent and let their tongue run naked into the books to the white and the green leaves open history there whose language is to the sun. Thank you. So finally, the poet emphatically tells that you will have to do what? You will have to break open. Okay? So break open this system. जो ये इनइक्वालिटी का सिस्टम है इसको मतलब ब्रेक करना पड़ेगा. और क्या करना पड़ेगा? ये जो सारे बच्चे हैं ये बच्चे को कहाँ लेके जाना पड़ेगा? ये लोगों को बाहर की दुनिया जो है, जो दुनिया बहुत सुंदर है, इट इज इन द नेचुरल सराउंडिंग, उनमें उनको बच्चे को मतलब एक्सपोज करना होगा. तब उनका रियल लर्निंग, नेचुरल लर्निंग, द लर्निंग दैट इज प्रोपेगेटेड बाय रूसो, okay, the great scholar will be successful. So this is the poem in brief. Now my dear children, we will be going to the extractive question. Okay, let us go to the extractive questions. See my dear children, from the main text, from the think it out part, so we can see some of the MCQ. Earlier this sort of questions are not asked. Now this is the pattern. Therefore, from the main text, let us see some of the questions, and after that we will be going to the comprehension question. So let us go for it. So let us continue. Take the item which the best answers the following. The tall girl with her head weight down means. See, this is also related to the meaning. Therefore, word meaning is very important. The girl is ill and exhausted. So this answer is correct or wrong? This seems to be wrong. This seems to be correct. तो अभी देखते हैं दूसरा क्वेश्चन, देखते हैं दूसरा जो ऑप्शन है वो देखते हैं, चलते हैं. Has her head bent with shame? ये तो बिल्कुल नहीं है. Has untidy hair? Untidy hair का बारे में बात नहीं किया, इसका indirect meaning है. Therefore, it talks about what? The malnutrition, and because of this malnutrition, the child, the tall girl, is suffering from illness, and she seems to be exhausted or tired. Let us see the question. Next question, number B from the main text. So let us go for it. The paper seeming boy with the rat's eye. देखिए, paper seeming boy with the rat's eyes means the boy is sly and secretive. Shy and secretive means he never share. He is a very shameful. ये तो नहीं है. Think hungry and weak. ये तो हो सकता है. अभी देखते हैं दूसरा ऑप्शन. Unpleasant looking. Pleasant unpleasant का बात ही नहीं है. तो हम क्या चीज का बात कर रहे हैं कि malnutrition, hunger. Okay, hunger is gleaming in their eyes and they are very weak or infirm. Therefore, option number 2 is correct. So, in the similar manner, now see the next one. The stunted unlucky year of twisted bones means. The stunted unlucky year of twisted bones means the boy has an inherited disability. ये तो पक्का करेक्ट है. Was short and bony. ये नहीं है. That means the option number 1 is correct. His eyes live in a dream, a squirrel's game into the tree room other than this. So this A will be small letter. This is wrong. Let us see. Let us see the question once again. His eyes live in a dream, a squirrel's game into the tree room other than this means the boy is full of hope into the future. Mentally ill? No. Distracted from the lesson. ये correct है, बिल्कुल correct है. ये भी नहीं है. Distracted मतलब there is no attraction. The school, classroom or nothing is attractive in the school campus. Means he is not interested in learning. तभी देखते हैं दूसरा नंबर E में the children's faces are compared to the rootless weeds. है ना? Rootless weeds. तो देखते हैं ये लाइन कहाँ है, इधर देखते हैं. They are like the rootless weeds. देखते हैं it is into the second line, far from the gusty of these children faces like rootless weeds, like rootless weeds. तो इधर main text में like भी है, therefore when this like is there directly, this is called the simile, this called the simile, that means this is a comparison. So अभी question और एक बार देखते हैं, the children's faces are compared to the rootless weeds. This means they are insecure, ill-fate, or wasters. So what will be the answer? So what will be the answer here? They are ill-fate. They are ill-fate. Means they are feeding, their nutrition, they are not getting the sufficient protein or the other things that are needed for the child for the growth and development. Therefore, my dear children, now let us continue. So we'll be moving to the next part now. So we'll be moving to the extract based question. So there will be 4 marks here. So my dear children, you will have to give emphasis. There will be extract based question like the previous year. Again, there will be MCQ question, and MCQ question and the extract based question almost similar. When you know the answer, so you can give the answer in the MCQ also. But what is needed is extensive study is needed. Okay, PISA based question. तो अभी देखते हैं question number 1. Read the extract given below and answer the questions that follow. So this particular quote is taken from the second stanza. From the second stanza, let us see the last part. This will be page number 92. Let us see the part. And yet for the children, this windows not this map their world, where all their futures painted with a hope. A narrow street sealed in with a lit sky, far from the rivers, caves, and stars of the verse. तो अभी देखते हैं. Who are the children refer to here? This is a very simple question. This is related to the textual type question. Okay, therefore there's no difficulty. The children referred to here. इधर देखिए आप जो आंसर लिखेंगे, आप अगर मतलब एक्टिव वॉइस में लिखेंगे तब ये लिखना पड़ेगा. रेफर को स्पेलिंग हम बार बार गलत करते हैं. द चिल्ड्रन रेफर टू हियर, है ना, तो ये हुआ मतलब द चिल्ड्रन रेफर टू हियर, द चिल्ड्रन दैट आर रेफर, दैट मींस दिस इज पैसिव फॉर्म. तो ये क्या हुआ, R-E-F-E-R, फ्रॉम देयर पास्ट टेंस इज R-E-F-E-R-R-E, the refer. Past participle also same, therefore with the passive is made. The children refer to the here are the poor children living in the slum. Correct. देखते हैं नंबर 2. Which is their world? Which is their world? The world of the children. ये देखिए, ये जो उनका जो मतलब वर्ल्ड है, वो वर्ल्ड मतलब कैसा वर्ल्ड है? ये वेरी dull and unpleasant world. Dull and unpleasant world inside the classroom. The wall of which also is very creamy or very unpleasant looking. तो अभी देखते हैं. Their world comprises of the dull, unpleasant classroom and its windows, amongst the dirty surrounding of the slum. देखते हैं question number C. How is their life different from that of the other children? उनका जो लाइफ है वो लाइफ दूसरे बच्चे से कैसा मतलब डिफरेंट है. देखते हैं उनका लाइफ डिफरेंट कैसे है, क्योंकि आप देखेंगे 2 पिक्चर मतलब देखिएगा. एक पिक्चर, द पिक्चर ऑफ द स्कूल इन द सोफिस्टिकेटेड एरिया, इन द इलाइट एरिया ऑफ द सिटी, एंड द अदर वन इन द स्लम. यू विल सी द सी ऑफ डिफरेंस, यू विल नोटिस द सी ऑफ डिफरेंस, है ना, बहुत बड़ा डिफरेंस होगा, है ना. देयरफॉर यही डिफरेंस का बारे में बात करते हैं. हाउ इज देयर लाइफ डिफरेंट फ्रॉम दैट ऑफ द चिल्ड्रन. और डिफरेंट मतलब किस लिए था, वो उसका मतलब पॉवर्टी मतलब ज्यादा था. दे वर लुकिंग इमेसिएटेड, वेरी एग्जॉस्टेड, टायर्ड, नॉट एनर्जेटिक, थीन. ओके, as against the other children who are healthy and have all the comfort and luxuries of life. Therefore, you can use the word contrast. The life of the poor children are a sharp contrast to the children in the civilized society, whereas the children in the slum were poverty stricken, emaciated. The children in the civilized society were living in the comfort and the luxuries of. Let us see the next question. Why is the future of these children painted with a fog? देखते हैं. Why the future of these children painted with a fog? तो ये जो fog है, fog का मीनिंग आपको पहले मतलब जानना पड़ेगा. fog तो fog का मीनिंग हम बोले थे कि मतलब ये ना डीम है. इनडायरेक्ट मीनिंग मतलब क्या होगा? अनप्लेजेंट. और मीनिंग क्या होगा? मर्की है. MUR murky means it becomes a what? It becomes opaque through the fog. Okay, you cannot see through the fog. तो fog के कारण क्या होता है? जब मतलब fog बहुत ज्यादा होता है, particularly in the Delhi and other areas, there will be lot. Okay, there will be fog, and because of this very deep fog, many a time the trains and the aeroplanes are also cancelled. Therefore, that is what the future of the children is dark and uncertain. So that the speaker says that it is painted with a fog. That means the poet Stephen Spender wanted to talk about the future of the children. Their futures are very dark or murky. They are very uncertain. They are not fixed. They do not know where they will reach, whether they will be living comfortably or not. They cannot say, and it is their education that makes them so. The speaker says that it is painted with a fog, means it is very dim, it is very murky, you cannot see through it. It is not transparent. Now let us see the next passage. So another passage, let us see another passage. With the ships and sun and love tempting them to steal for life that slyly turned in their cramped hole from fog to endless night. तो अभी देखते हैं who are them refer to. देखिए बच्चों, आप जब ये आंसर लिखेंगे, ये them अभी जो हुआ मतलब ये स्पेशल वर्ड है, तो इसीलिए इसको क्या करना पड़ेगा? सिंगल और डबल इन्वर्टेड कॉमा, है ना. यू कैन यूज द सिंबल, यू कैन यूज द सिंगल और डबल इन्वर्टेड कॉमास, है ना. तब आंसर आप क्या लिखेंगे? सो पहला हम देख लेते हैं क्वेश्चन को, एक बार देखते हैं, अंडरस्टैंड करते हैं. हु आर देम रेफर टू हियर. और ये जो मतलब लिखने का ढंग है, दिस इज रिटन इन द पैसिव वॉइस. इट इज रिटन इन द पैसिव वॉइस. तो हम भी पैसिव वॉइस में लिखेंगे, है ना. रेफर टू एक ही साथ आएगा, है ना. रेफर टू एक ही साथ आएगा मीन्स पॉइंटेड आउट. Therefore, देखते हैं अभी आंसर देखते हैं. Them here, देखिए them here refers to the poor emancipated children of the slum. तो अगर आपको दिक्कत होगा तब आप डायरेक्ट का वॉइस में भी लिख सकते हैं, है ना. डायरेक्ट का वॉइस भी लिख सकते हैं. तो डायरेक्ट वॉइस में ऐसा होगा, them refers to the poor emancipated children of the slum. तो अभी ना अगर मतलब आप पैसिव वॉइस में जैसा फॉर्म में लिखा हुआ है तो वो ऐसा लिखना चाहते तो ऐसा होगा कि the poor emancipated children of the slum are referred to here by them. और एक ढंग से लिख सकते हैं, कैसे? by them the poor emaciated children of the slum are referred. FERRED. अभी देखते हैं दूसरा क्वेश्चन नंबर बी. व्हाट टेम्प्ट्स देम, है ना. टेम्प्ट का मतलब क्या है? प्रलोभित करना, मतलब मेक्स ग्रीडी. तो ये क्या चीज मतलब है? जो मतलब उनके लिए टेम्पटेशन होता है उनको इंसाइट करते हैं, है ना, उनको मतलब क्या करते हैं, इंसाइट करते हैं। सो व्हाट इज दैट, तो आप जानते हैं वो एक तो हुआ मतलब मैप, है ना, मैप ऑफ द वर्ल्ड। दूसरा मतलब क्या है, शेक्सपियर्स हेड, है ना। अभी देखते हैं नंबर बी, they are tempted by the beautiful things of the world, the luxuries and the lifestyle that the rich people enjoy, which are depicted in the map. They are tempted to steal as they cannot possess all these otherwise. Therefore, this is the temptation for the children. This has no good meaning. This particularly we are talking about the map. Map has not the good meaning for the children. So it actually implies the indirectly it implies what, the opposite meaning. Yeah. Let us go for next question. What does the poet say about their lives? तो क्या बोलते हैं, देखिए ये लाइफ का बारे में बोले, फॉर लाइफ दैट स्लाइटली टर्न इन दे आर क्रैम्प्ड होल फ्रॉम वॉक टू एंडलेस नाइट। यही लाइफ है ना, इसी को आपको मतलब अपना लैंग्वेज में लिखेंगे। तो अभी देखते हैं मतलब क्या है आंसर सी, द चिल्ड्रन ऑफ द स्लम लिव amidst dirty surrounding in cramped hole which are dark and unpleasant. The poet is not happy with the way that the children are compelled to live and study. अभी देखते हैं नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, what do you understand by what do you understand by from fog to endless night? So this is a phrase. What is the meaning of it? Let us see the meaning. From fog to endless night means that from morning till night the poor children of the slum have miserable existence. They suffer from morning to night. तो अगर ये आंसर आप शॉर्टकट में लिखना चाहते हैं, the phrase from fog to endless night refers to or suggest the endless misery. अभी देखते हैं नेक्स्ट पैराग्राफ. So let us come to the last stanza, of the poem. Break open till they break the town, and show the children to the green field, and make their world run azure under the gold sands, and to let the tongue run naked into the books. The white and the green lips open history there, so whose language is the sun. To whom does they refer? है ना, ये भी आपको आप डायरेक्ट में लिखिए, डायरेक्ट वॉइस है ना, मीन्स एक्टिव वॉइस में आप लिखिए. तो एक्टिव वॉइस में क्या होगा, दे रेफर्स टू इंस्पेक्टर, विजिटर, गवर्नर एंड दोस हु आर इन ऑथोरिटी, और द पीपल इन ऑथोरिटी. उसको मतलब हम क्या बोलते हैं, ब्यूरोक्रेट भी बोलते हैं, BEAUROCRATS. bureaucrats means lawmaker, particularly lawmaker. They may be the representative of the people. Okay, therefore let us see the next question. What would they break? So this they actually refer to the children. You see, they would break the green wall of the slum children's world, which shut the children's off from our world. Now see, all these visitors, inspector, governor, and the public authorities are requested or appealed by the poet that you will have to break this barrier. This window actually is the barrier that actually creates a wall between the civilized and the uncivilized people, between the privileged and the unprivileged people, between the slum and the people of the town. Therefore, the poet asks them to break the wall of poverty, the wall of the children, and which is encircling them, so that they can see the real world. Let us see the next question. What does the poet want for them? कवि ने क्या चाहते हैं, है ना, वो जो चाहना है दैट इज द मोरल। वो जो चाहना है दैट इज द मैसेज, है ना। व्हाट डज द पॉइंट वांट? द पॉइंट वांट इक्वालिटी, पॉइंट वांट जस्टिस, पॉइंट वांट द luxury and the comfort also for the deprived class of the people, the poor people, the people of the slum. They also want the equality in all respect. That is what देखते हैं। Number C, the poet wants that the children should be properly educated so that they get the energy and warmth of the sun, which is symbolic of light and knowledge. ये जो sun है, sun is a symbolic of what? Symbolic of knowledge. Symbolic of knowledge. तो ये बच्चों को मतलब क्या करना होगा? बच्चों को प्रॉपर एजुकेशन देना पड़ेगा। ये एजुकेशन ऐसा एक टूल है जो टूल के जरिए मतलब क्या कर सकते हैं, मतलब वी कैन चेंज द लाइफस्टाइल ऑफ द पीपल। देयरफॉर एजुकेशन, ओके, एजुकेशन इज टू बी इम्पार्टेड टू द चिल्ड्रन। तो बच्चों देखिए, ऐसा है कि मतलब ना आप सपोजिंग एक गरीब आदमी को एक फिश दे दिया, बहुत बड़ा फिश दे दिया, मतलब 5 किलो का फिश दे दिया, ठीक है। वो गरीब आदमी मतलब खा लेंगे, प्रोटीन मतलब उनको मतलब चाहिए, ठीक हो गया, लेकिन वो तो मतलब एक दिन का बात है। अब कितना बार देंगे? उससे अच्छा है कि उनको अगर मतलब ना फिश का मतलब कुछ मतलब टूल देंगे, मतलब सपोजिंग मतलब ना इफ यू आर गिविंग द हुक, है ना, इफ यू आर गिविंग द हुक, ऐसा हुक मतलब देते हैं, तब क्या होगा? सो ही कैन कैच द फिश एवरी डे एज ही नीड्स। तो यही मतलब था, कवि का मतलब मैसेज यही था कि they should be given proper education so that on the basis of that they can ameliorate their condition, better their condition, and they can be at par with the other children of the society. My dear children, I suppose you understood it. So now is the time. So we'll be taking another 15 minutes for the MCQ question. That will be very, very important, my dear children, for your exam. Let us go for it. So now, my dear children, so this will be revision also, whatever discussion we have made in the form of the MCQ, we will be having the discussion also and the revision too. So let us go for the MCQ question. Poem number 2, an elementary school classroom in a slum. Question number 1, who has written the elementary school classroom in a slum? So you know the name of the poet. Name of the poet is Stephen Spandau. Number 2, what theme did the poet concentrate on the poem? Theme of social injustice and class equality. Correct. Theme of children and their happiness. No. The theme of insecurity. No. None. Galat. Therefore, option number A is correct. Let us go to the next. Number 3. What does the poet portray in the poem? What does the poet portray? Means portray का मतलब क्या है? Depict. Depict का मतलब क्या है? Giving the sketch. Okay, giving the sketch. So what is the particular sketch that is made? As a painter, he made a picture of the slum people with the words. देखते हैं. What does the poet portray in the poem? Young minds, playfulness of the children, obedience, questions of young minds, the plight of the young children in the slum. देखिए, ये plight of the young children मतलब plight का मतलब क्या है? उनका जो miserable condition है. plight का मतलब है miserable condition, distressed condition, D-I-S-T-R-E-S-S-E-D, distressed condition. एक कंडीशन मतलब क्या क्या है? डेपिक्ट क्या है? प्रोटेक्ट किया. देखिए आगे दूसरा क्वेश्चन. व्हाट इज द पोएट कंपेयर इन द पोएम? क्या चीज को मतलब कंपेयर किया गया है? कंपेयर में बहुत सारे कंपैरिजन है. सम मेटाफर्स आर यूज्ड, सिमिलर्स आर यूज्ड टू गिव द कंपैरिजन, है ना. तो इसमें तो एकदम डायरेक्ट जो कंपैरिजन है, इसमें क्या है? द पुअर एंड द रिच. द पुअर, है ना, विथ द रिच. Rich class of people are compared to the poor class of the people, poor in the form of the slum people. यही है. The young and the old बिल्कुल नहीं है. Generation gap वो बिल्कुल नहीं है. Old age and the child कभी भी नहीं किया है. Rich मतलब क्या है? Haves, जिनका पास पैसा, प्रॉपर्टी सब कुछ है. Poor children of the slum, जिसको हम have not बोलते हैं, यह आंसर बिल्कुल करेक्ट है। What kind of life do the children living in the slum have? उनका जो लाइफ है वो लाइफ कैसा लाइफ है? Let's see the next question number 5. कैसा लाइफ है उनका? देखते हैं. What kind of life do the children living in the slum have? Full of love? बिल्कुल नहीं. Full of care and warmth? कभी भी नहीं. Hopelessness and full of struggle? ये बिल्कुल है. तब D wrong है, C is correct. Number 6. Let us come to number 6. What does the poet compare to the color of the wall with? Color of the wall with. तो आपको तो याद होगा, ये फ्रेज आपको याद रखना पड़ेगा. कविता का जो फ्रेज है वो पक्का याद रखना पड़ेगा. तब आपको वो याद रखने के लिए आपको बार बार पढ़ना पड़ेगा. ओके, रीडिंग टाइम एंड अगेन. सोर क्रीम, सोर का मतलब क्या है? डर्टी, अनप्लीजेंट, है ना. और उसका और एक क्या मीनिंग है? ऑफ वाइट. क्या वाइट? ऑफ वाइट, है ना. ऑफ वाइट. तो ये बाकी जो ऑप्शन है गलत है ना. नंबर 7. लेट अस सी व्हाट आर द पोएटिक डिवाइसेस यूज्ड इन द पोएम. ये कविता में ना लॉट ऑफ पोएटिक डिवाइसेस आर यूज्ड. तो हम पहले भी बोला कि इसमें अलिटरेशन है, सिमिली है, मेटाफर है, इमेजरी है, सिनेक्डोकी भी है, आयरनी भी है. तो ऑप्शन डी इज करेक्ट. लेट अस कम टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. नंबर 8. What do the words their futures painted with of folk convey? इसका जो कन्वे है मतलब ना, कन्वे क्या मतलब सजेस्ट करते हैं, है ना. तो हम जो पहले बोला था कि सजेस्ट का भरपूर यूज होगा, यही है. मतलब इनडायरेक्टली, ऑब्लिकली, हिंटिंग, है ना. What do the words their futures painted with a folk? इसका इनडायरेक्ट मीनिंग क्या है, सिंबॉलिक मीनिंग क्या है, सजेशन क्या है, हिंट क्या है? नो होप फॉर इंप्रूवमेंट, करेक्ट. नो हार्डवर्क, नो वन, गलत. नो लव एंड केयर, ये भी गलत है. ऑप्शन डी इज करेक्ट. अभी देखते हैं नेक्स्ट वन. व्हाट डू द फेसेस ऑफ द चिल्ड्रन इन द स्लम एरियाज रिफ्लेक्ट? फेस ने क्या चीज को रिफ्लेक्ट करते हैं, ये भी सजेस्टिव है ना. फेस से हमको क्या अंदाजा चलते हैं. ये जो लिटरेचर है माय डियर चिल्ड्रन, ये इसीलिए रिच है क्योंकि इसमें केवल डायरेक्ट मीनिंग नहीं है, इनडायरेक्ट मीनिंग भी है. देयरफॉर इसमें देखिए, व्हाट डू द फेस ऑफ द चिल्ड्रन इन द स्लम एरिया रिफ्लेक्ट? हैप्पीनेस? बिल्कुल नहीं है. फेस में तो हैप्पीनेस का कोई साइन ही नहीं है, गुंजाइश नहीं है. देयर एस्पिरेशन? बिल्कुल नहीं है. देयर हैप्पीनेस? बिल्कुल नहीं है. उसमें क्या है? नेगेटिव, है ना. इसमें क्या है? दुख भरा कहानी है. ये जो कहानी है दुख भरा कहानी है. सैडनेस एंड द लैक ऑफ एंथुसियाज्म. सैडनेस एंड द लैक ऑफ एंथुसियाज्म. इसमें क्या है? पेसिमिज्म है ना. पेसिमिज्म. Therefore, let us come to next question, number 10. What is ironical about the wall hangings and the donation in the classroom? देखिए, आयरोनिकल मतलब यह आता है, आयरोनी से आता है. तो आयरोनी का मीनिंग क्या हुआ कि मतलब जो हम बोलते हैं उसका जो मीनिंग है ना, बोलना, और उसका जो इनडायरेक्ट मीनिंग हम जो मतलब समझाना, वो जस्ट ऑपोजिट होता है. What is that ironical about the wall hangings and donations in the slum set up in very clean environment? ये बिल्कुल नहीं है. Completely opposite to the needs of the children in the classroom, ये बिल्कुल करेक्ट है. Set up in a happy environment, happy जो है, पॉजिटिव जो है, बिल्कुल नहीं है. Set up in a gloomy setup, ये तो था, लेकिन इससे आंसर, करेक्ट आंसर क्या है? Completely opposite to the need, है ना. आयरोनी का मीनिंग मतलब अपोजिट मीनिंग है, जो मतलब बोलना है उसे मतलब अलग है. कंप्लीटली अपोजिट टू द नीड ऑफ द चिल्ड्रन इन द क्लासरूम. देखते हैं नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. व्हाट आर द बॉय विद द रेट्स आर ट्राइंग टू एस्केप फ्रॉम? तो आप देखेंगे कि सो द बॉय वाज नॉट एट ऑल इंटरेस्टेड इन द स्कूल, नॉट एट ऑल इंटरेस्टेड इन द क्लासरूम. देयरफॉर he was roaming in the world of their imagination. देखते हैं ऑप्शन. ब्राइट लाइट आउटसाइड, openness of the tree, dim light of the class, children in the room. What was the boy with the rats are trying to escape from? वो मतलब कहाँ से escape करना चाहते थे? Dim light of the classroom. क्योंकि वो क्लासरूम में मन उनको मतलब क्या हुआ? Not fixed. His mind was not interested in the classroom nor in the teaching. देखते हैं next question. Number 12. What is the tree room in the poem? Tree room. Tree room क्या है? Tree room is the particular hollow. Hollow of the tree. Room outside the school बिल्कुल नहीं है. Room on the tree where the squirrel play. Yes, बिल्कुल सही है. Room on the tree where the rats play. Rats का बात नहीं आता है. Room on the tree where the pigeons play. Pigeon का बात बिल्कुल नहीं आता है ना? नॉर्मली मतलब ट्री रूम जो है उधर मतलब स्क्विरल एक बार आते हैं एक बार जाते हैं, है ना? बार बार आते हैं बार बार जाते हैं. And they also store their food for the winter, severe winter, in the tree room. देखते हैं अभी next question number 13. What do catacombs signify? देखिए इधर भी indirect एक मीनिंग वाला क्वेश्चन है. Irrelevance of the children बिल्कुल नहीं है. चिल्ड्रन का इरिलेवेंस कभी नहीं बोला. चिल्ड्रन वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. इरिलेवेंस ऑफ द स्कूल बिल्कुल नहीं. स्कूल भी वेरी रिलेवेंट है, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट है. इरिलेवेंस ऑफ द क्लासरूम बिल्कुल नहीं है. तो ये तीनों मतलब गलत हो गया. तो आंसर तो यही होगा, है ना? सपोज यू डू नॉट नो व्हाट इज कैटाकम, ओके, then also in this way also you can go for underground cemetery showing the irrelevance of the man hanging on the wall of the classroom. तो अभी ये जो कैटाकम्प होता है, कैटाकम्प मतलब क्या है? सो दिस इज द काइंड ऑफ द TOMB tomb where underground tomb तो ये अंडरग्राउंड टूम में टूम जो है असल में वो क्या है? दैट इज दे आर द होम ऑफ द slum children. Therefore, this catacomb are symbolic, or the catacomb tell about the underground cemetery, showing the irrelevance of the man. Number 14. Let us go to number 14. Why are the pictures on the map meaningless? है ना? Pictures on the maps are meaningless or the out of place. हम पहले बोला था out of place, है ना? आउट ऑफ प्लेस है मतलब ये इररिलेवेंट है. इररिलेवेंट है मीन्स मीनिंगलेस. इट इज नॉट समथिंग मीनिंगफुल. तो ये किस लिए है? द पिक्चर्स अंडर द मैप, है ना? द पिक्चर्स आर देयर hung under the wall. There are the maps also. They show the beauty, they show the hope, they show vastness opposite to the world of the children in the narrow classroom. Therefore, the answer D is very much correct. Option D, all this is correct. How can powerful people help the poor children? So, this is the question from the last part. So, here you will see the powerful people here are those people, the governor, the instructor, the teacher, the bureaucrat, and the what they can do for the slum children. So what can they do? They can bridge the gap. They can minimize the gap between the poor and the rich, between the haves and the have-nots. तो यही है. By fighting with the government के साथ fight बिल्कुल नहीं करना. By fighting with the powerful, no. By bridging the gap of inequalities and injustice, correct है. By fighting with the rich people, बिल्कुल नहीं है. तो let us come to question number 16. What does the poem describe? ये तो बेसिक के ऊपर है. Means what does the poem deals with? What does the poem deals with? The poem deals with the what? The elementary school classroom, particularly the elementary school. An elementary school classroom in a slum. Not social setup, different mindset, beauty of the surrounding. गलत है. अभी देखते हैं next question. Number 17. What does the poet wish for the children of the slum? Wish for the children of the slum. So, what is the expectation of the poet for the children of the slum? क्या एक्सपेक्टेशन था उनका? मतलब एक्सपेक्टेशन, बहुत एक्सपेक्टेशन था. उसीलिए ये जो एक्सपेक्टेशन का बात जितना मतलब है, विश का बात है, बहुत सारे होगा तो जब ऑल दिस होगा तब आंसर करेक्ट होगा. देखिए अभी, he wished them to be happy and healthy. He wished a good change for them. He wants them to lead a healthy and happy life. ये भी करेक्ट है. तब D is very correct. Now let us come to next question, number 18. Question number 18. Far from the gusty wet, the children's faces like rootless weeds, the hair torn round with the pallor. What do this verse express? So after reading this particular verse, the lines, the picture that comes to your mind is the picture, the image of the children and their pathetic, very miserable plight. Therefore, poor plight of the ground का बारे में नहीं, poor plight of the children's home का बारे में हम कभी बात नहीं किया, लास्ट में बात किया थोड़ा बहुत. Poor plight of the teacher का बात कभी नहीं हुआ. Poor plight of the slum children बिल्कुल correct. Why is the head of the tall girl weighed down? इसका बारे में हम बात किया है. Tall girl जो थे, so she was suffering from malnutrition and therefore her head became bigger in size, and because of that she could not control the head too. This is the symptoms of the malnutrition. तो अभी देखते हैं, ऑप्शन देखते हैं. Why is the head of the tall girl weighed down? By the burden of the studies? No. By the burden of the work? No. By the burden of the world? Yes, correct. All this नहीं हो सकते, दो गलत हो गया. तो अभी देखते हैं क्वेश्चन नंबर 20. क्वेश्चन नंबर 20. What is the meaning of the paper singing boy with a red's eye? Paper singing boy with red's eyes. So we are talking about the particular boy who is very thin, just like the paper, and eyes also is simply doing what the eyes are simply focusing in things. Okay. What is the meaning of the paper singing boy with the red's eye? Rich people, not at all. Rich children, not at all. Powerful people and their influence, no. Weak and the malnutrition boy. The boy was suffering from malnutrition. This is the boy we are talking about. Then let us see question number 21. What kind of the loop? What kind of loop the faces and the hair of the children give? Rich and beautiful बिल्कुल नहीं है. Organized बिल्कुल नहीं है. ये तो पॉजिटिव है. पॉजिटिव बात हुआ ही नहीं. हेल्दी भी नहीं है, तो निगेटिव वाला होगा. Pale face and scattered and undone here, undone or uncombed here, uncombed. That is not combed. देखते हैं नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन नंबर 22. आते हैं क्वेश्चन नंबर 22. His eyes live in a dream. What is the dream? What is the dream? So dream बहुत सिंपल है. Dream of the squirrel game and dream of particularly the battery life. His eyes live in a dream. What is the dream? Watching a movie? No, not at all. Going abroad? No. Eating ice cream? बिल्कुल नहीं. Then only one is left out. Dream of better times with kings and open space. Open space. Let us see the next question. Next question number 23. Let's go for 23. Who was sitting at the back of the dream class? This is a very literal question. The textual question you can see from the text also. Therefore, only we will have to remember what is there. Who was there sitting at the back of the dream class? A particular child was sitting there who was unnoticed. Okay, there is no remarkable note. Even though he was intelligent, nobody looked at or gave attention to him. It is not the girl, it is not the old man, it is not the teacher. It was an unnoted boy who was intelligent. Okay, unnoted. मतलब जिसको नोटिस नहीं किया गया है। हु इज द अनलकी ईयर ऑफ व्हाट विल ही इनहेरिट? So we are talking about the particular child, very emaciated child. He was suffering from malnutrition, and more particularly, he was inheriting the disease of the father. So let us see the option. Who is the unlucky year and what will he inherit? A fat boy बिल्कुल नहीं. A short boy and will inherit a good, है ना? Good का बारे में कुछ बात ही नहीं हुआ. An intelligent boy and will inherit intelligence, बिल्कुल नहीं है. तो सब निगेटिव माने जो पॉजिटिव है उनको सूर के अभी निगेटिव में आते हैं. थीन बॉय करेक्ट है, विथ रेड आई वो भी है, मींस लैकिंग इन कॉन्फिडेंस, एंड विल इनहेरिट द ट्विस्टेड बोन मींस नल डिजीज, GNARLED, नल डिजीज दैट हिज फादर सफर्ड. अभी आते हैं लास्ट क्वेश्चन ऑफ दिस टाइप एंड देन वी विल सी अनदर some questions related to the poetic devices. So we'll see 5 of them. Then total there will be 30 questions, MCQ questions that will be sufficient, I suppose, for your examination point of view. What is the stunted boy reciting? Stunted boy how वो क्या recite कर रहे थे? A lesson from the text, ये आपका textual question है. Therefore, my dear children, now let's come to some other questions related to the device. Identify the literary devices in Slum as big as Doom. What is the poetic device here? Slum as big as Doom. S dash S means this is what? This is the connective. And this connective actually starts with S. When as and like will be there will be comparison. Okay, comparison. When the direct comparison of the comparison is stated or direct, then it will be called to what? It will be called simile. बिल्कुल करेक्ट है. तो अभी देखते हैं simile बिल्कुल करेक्ट. मेटाफोर नहीं, पर्सनिफिकेशन नहीं. तो अभी आते हैं क्वेश्चन नंबर 2. Identify the literary device in whose language is the sun. Whose language is the sun? अभी देखते हैं ये. Whose language is the sun means language is, you see, language is equated to the sun, है ना? इसमें कोई मतलब like और as यूज नहीं किया गया है ना. दो चीज को मतलब कंपेयर किया गया है. ये इनडायरेक्ट कंपैरिजन है क्योंकि इसमें पॉइंट ऑफ सिमिलरिटी और लाइकनेस ज्यादा है, इसीलिए इसको मतलब क्या बोलेंगे हम? मेटाफोर बोलेंगे. क्यों हम मेटाफोर इसको बोला? लैंग्वेज कैसे सन हो सकता है? लैंग्वेज व्हेन द स्टूडेंट विल कम टू अंडरस्टैंड द लैंग्वेज, व्हेन दे विल स्टडी द लिटरेचर, व्हेन दे विल बी नॉलेजेबल पीपल, दे कैन राइट देयर हिस्ट्री. देयरफॉर लैंग्वेज इज इक्वेटेड टू द सन और द सिंबल और लाइट. ठीक है, आगे बढ़ते हैं. क्वेश्चन नंबर 3. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन नंबर 3. ब्रेक ओ ब्रेक, व्हाट शुड द ब्रेक? देखते हैं. ये तो अभी हम बात किया है. इसमें क्या होगा? सो ब्रेकिंग द बैरियर्स, ऑप्शन इसका आंसर होगा ब्रेकिंग द बैरियर्स. आते हैं दूसरा में, दूसरा पोएटिक डिवाइस देखते हैं. Identify the literary device in the spectacles of steels. Okay, spectacles of steels. So we are talking about the spectacles. Okay, spectacles. तो अभी देखते हैं इसमें बहुत सारे ऑप्शन है. सिमिली, इसमें तो सिमिली नहीं हो सकता है. सिमिली नहीं हो सकता है. क्यों नहीं हो सकता है? क्योंकि सिमिली नहीं हो सकते क्योंकि ये जो है इसमें एस और लाइक डायरेक्ट कंपेरिजन नहीं है, तो सिमिली नहीं हो सकता. एलिटेशन का कोई सवाल ही नहीं है ना. एलिटेशन का सवाल नहीं है. देयर इज नो पर्सनिफिकेशन आल्सो, देयर इज नथिंग इज नाउ मेड अलाइव. देयरफॉर ऑप्शन, दिस इज द ऑप्शन लेफ्ट आउट. अभी देखते हैं हमारा लॉजिक. देखते हैं लॉजिक क्या है. सो दिस स्पेक्टेकल्स है ना, हम स्पेक्स लिखा. स्पेक को मतलब क्या की चीज का मतलब वो क्या है? स्पेक तो हम क्या चीज से बनाते हैं? उसमें क्या चीज होता है? प्लास्टिक होता है. उसमें क्या होता है? और मतलब क्या होता है? मिरर होता है, ग्लास होता है. मिरर और ग्लास होता है। तो इधर मतलब क्या हुआ, ये उनका जो मतलब जो स्पेक्टेकल था, the children actually suffer from malnutrition, and because of that they lose their eyesight also. When they lose their eyesight, they actually had the spectacle, and the spectacle they did not have the money for mending the repairing the spectacle, and therefore what they did, they mended with something very opaque, not transparent. Therefore it look like the still, as if it is the still work. Therefore spectacular compared to the still. Therefore the comparison here is the metaphor. So now let us see the next one. इसमें भी देखिए, identify the literary device in the futures painted with a fork. तो ये जो फ्यूचर है ना, हम सभी लोग मतलब क्या करते हैं, फ्यूचर का मतलब ना पेंट करते हैं। तो हम तो कभी मतलब फ्यूचर का मतलब ना कोई मतलब डार्क और मर्की मतलब पेंट नहीं करते कि अरे मेरा जीवन तो मतलब ना बहुत मतलब खराब होगा, इट विल बी वेरी डार्क, इट विल बी वेरी होपलेस, इट विल बी वेरी डल और अनइंटरेस्टिंग, ऐसा नहीं है। लेकिन ये जो बच्चे हैं, जो स्लम का चिल्ड्रन है, तो उनका जो फ्यूचर है, फ्यूचर को केवल मतलब पेंट ही नहीं किया गया, फ्यूचर मतलब बराबर मतलब क्या हो गया, दिस इज इक्वल टू फॉग, है ना, दिस इज द फॉग, मींस through the fog you cannot see through, or you cannot see anything through the fog. In the similar manner, the future of the children also are very dark or murky. You cannot imagine what will be the future of these children. Therefore the figure of speech here is the matter. Therefore option B is correct, A is wrong, C is wrong, D is wrong. Therefore my dear children, I suppose you are now fit to write any answer, either MCQ or the comprehension type question from this particular lesson, an elementary school classroom in Slum. With that hope, let me conclude. Thanks to all.